Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Insightful Moments. I am Jare Tiamiyu. Today we shall be looking into the crisis that has continued to rock the Federal Polytechnic Ede. The crisis is now becoming more than a year now, and there is no end in sight. What is really happening? Who and who should we pacify? What exactly is going on at this institution? These are the questions we are going to be asking in this episode and the next episode. Most especially, we shall be speaking with parties that are so involved, the parties that have been, at the center of this crisis. Today, we will be speaking with Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASOP, the Federal Polytechnic Chapter, and I will be speaking with the chairman of the union, Comrade Adekunle Nurudeen Masopa. He will be telling us his own side, the union side. What exactly happened? What happened on Friday? It has become an high. So everybody is there have been reactions from one side to the other. Most especially when the rector was locked and then the tires of his official car was, deflated. Those are the things we are going to be discussing today. I'm Jare Tiamiyu. Stay tuned, I'll be right back. Welcome back from that very short break. And as I said earlier, my guest today is Mr. Nurudeen Adekunle Masopa, the chairperson of Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, Federal Polytechnic Ede. And what we are going to be discussing today has to do with the prolonged crisis that has been rocking the institution. And today we'll be speaking with the union. And as we have the union chairman here, we'll be telling us what exactly has been the issue. And then I will proceed to the other side. Mr. Masopa, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Yeah.
So let's look at it from this perspective, and it's very important. Federal Polytechnic Ede recently has been from one crisis to another, from one issue to another. There was a time when we had the issue of corruption against the rector and some others. And later, it's graduated to the unpaid allowances and, hand allowances, as you call it. And recently, we had the issue of dual program and then the crisis that actually followed that. If I may ask, your union has been at the center of virtually all these crises that I've mentioned. What exactly is going on the campus of Federal Polytechnic Ede?
Okay, thank you very much. The issue in Federal Polytechnic Ede is just like a connected chain, whereby if there is a gap somewhere, then there is bound to be problem across the chain. And if there is a defective chain, there is also the possibility of having problem across the chain. However, as much as connected as the chain is, you will agree with me that once there is a problem, other associated problems will automatically follow. So the basic problem we have in Federal Polytechnic Ede in the recent time has to do with the leadership style of the chief executive in person of Dr. John Taiwo Adekolawale, who happens to be the rector of the institution. And, as pressure groups, as a union, we cannot just fold our hands and keep quiet. When we have to put things in the right perspective at all times.
So that is exactly the issue. Let me now, after the issue of any allowance, if I may ask, has that one been totally resolved? No. You suspended the sit-at-work strike after the protest and then the shutting down of the gates by the protesting students who were actually, according to you and even the management, who were doing the right thing by that protest. So what exactly is the next? Where are you now on the issue of any allowance?
Permit me to quickly make a brief correction.
Okay.
I don't think there was any time I said the student protesting, locking the gate of the Polytechnic were actually doing the right thing.
Okay, but the management said you were actually exercising
and I never condemned it.
Okay.
So, ASOP as a union has been silent about the protest. So that has to be put on record.
Okay.
And sincerely yours, ASUP as a union has been conceding to management all along for the past 3 years. In specific terms, on the issue of earn allowance that you have just mentioned, what we have is outstanding 42 months earn allowance. And when management decided that they would pay 2 months, we consider it so insignificant and ridiculous since we are not beggars and we are not demanding for what is not actually right. We are demanding for our legitimate earning. So we said we cannot take 2 months. Thereafter, after so much consultation and intervention from relevant stakeholders, including the royal father of the land, management agreed to pay 10 out of 42 months, which is not even up to 50% of it. So on the basis of that, the union said, okay, if they can manage to pay 10 months out of 42 months, then we should not, for any reason, look at the side of the financial management of those in charge in the institution. We should consider the innocent students that are suffering from the effect of such attitude.
So that was why you suspended
that was why we said, okay, let's go back to classroom.
Okay, let's now go into the issue, the drama of Friday that has actually received a different reaction from different stakeholders. What exactly happened on Friday after the suspension of the rector as the chairman of academic board?
Permit me to say this. If we are talking about what happened after the suspension, without talking about what actually led to the suspension.
Let's start from that, since that is how it's convenient for you. What actually led to the suspension as a stakeholder on campus? What led to it?
Well, we received information that there was a rowdy session on the floor of the academic board, which was unprecedented in the history of the Polytechnic. And people said, all members of the academic board are your members. Will you be here taking tea without going and settle the rift? So we quickly moved there. So when we got there, we discovered that it was a rowdy session. As a matter of fact, members of the academic board were already moving away from the floor of the academic board until we said, distinguished members of the academic board, this will not project the image of this institution in a good form, no matter what happened. Please, let's go back to the floor of the academic board. And when we got there, before entering, I tried to interact with few of them, and they said the problem they are having has to do with the Dual Award program, where a student admitted on such program will be awarded a national diploma and the NC certificate simultaneously within a period of 2 years. So we requested that, can union intervene? They said, no problem. When we got there, we requested that, okay, we cannot take a biased position. You said you have passed a vote of no confidence on the rector. There must be reason for that. What is the reason? The members of the academic board said no. They have passed a vote of no confidence on the rector, and the rector has to respect that. And after respecting that, adequate communication will be made available to the union. Don't forget, let me, by way of information, mention that the issue of Dual Award program has been a controversial issue within the Polytechnic in the last 1.5 years.
We are going into that because there is a question that has to do with what exactly does this dual program mean, and then is it was it actually approved by the board at the initial stage, and some other things. But before we do that, we would like to go on a very short break, and when we are back, we'll continue from that point. Stay tuned, be right back.
Abokede Adironkefumi, General Manager, Osun Agency for Community and Social Development Projects. I want to say that you should keep watching Insights Link TV. It's a development focused communication media.
Yeah, welcome back from that very short break. My guest is still here with me, and that is Mr. Nurudeen Adekunle Masopa, the chairperson of Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, Federal Polytechnic Ede. We are digging at the crisis that is becoming part and parcel of the academic system at this Federal Polytechnic, and it's very, very important because the lives of students, thousands of them that are students of this institution, are actually, being played with, and I think we have to look into it and see where the problem lies and what recommendation, who should, sit short and who should sit grand. Mr. Masopa, thank you for being part of the show. So we were saying something about the dual program of the Polytechnic. Can you simply explain that in few seconds? What exactly does it mean? And then was it approved at the initial stage?
Thank you very much. The dual award program, with what is available on paper.
Okay.
And by the little consultation we have made so far, the dual award program is an arrangement whereby any student on the program will be awarded ND and NCE simultaneously within the period of 2 years.
Okay.
This program has been reported in the fora. It was run in conjunction with some colleges of education.
Okay. Do you have what college of education?
Ilori College of Education is one of them.
Okay.
Recently, we got information that it is also going on at Ilarango College of Education and Emmanuel Alayande College of Education in Oyo.
Okay.
So, the program, when you look at it, within the academic setting, there are boundaries. There are boundaries. On no account will a particular sector within the education sector award a certificate that does not belong to it.
Okay.
We cannot award NCE. NCE, colleges of education cannot award ND.
Yes.
If there is an arrangement of such, it calls for proper scrutiny of such an arrangement. But when you look at it, you did ask whether it was approved or not.
Yes.
Like I said earlier, it has been a controversial issue in the last 1.5 years. Okay. And at a point when the union had a number of issues and the internal mechanism of the Polytechnic has actually broken down, we cried out to save the integrity of the academic community. We cried out to government, the regulatory agency that is the National Board for Technical Education. And it was on that ground there was an invitation to the union and the management on the 16th of September. As a matter of fact, considering the magnitude of the possible effect that program can have on the academic community, it was the number one issue we raised. And when we raised it, that we are confused. MBT, which is the regulatory body, should clarify issues. That we are made to believe that Federal Polytechnic Ede is running a dual award program where NCA and ND will be awarded. And when it was time for the rector to respond, he did mention that it was approved, but the executive secretary of MBT at that time, in person of Dr. Mashahud Kasauri, did ask few questions that did MBT give approval? MBT did not give any approval to that. He even went further to ask that what are the resolutions of MBT with rectors on running part-time program, not even knowing that the program is not a part-time program. The rector could not answer until the man listed about 4 resolutions. And all the 4 resolutions, if we are to consider Federal Polytechnic Ede as an institution, we are violating those resolutions.
Let's bring it from this perspective. The rector said that the academic board approved it at the initial stage, and even your members lectured at this program, and also the first semester exam was concluded. The result was also approved by the academic board. Now it was when it was about that they are now having the second semester exam now, that your union is now clamoring for disbandment or a stop to the program. Now it's saying that you have to consider the future of the students. Do you also look, I think, from that perspective?
Thank you very much. Sincerely, what ASUP as a union is considering on that program is more than the way the rector has presented it.
Okay.
One, we are looking at the integrity of the academic community as an institution.
Okay.
Because if we are lured to running a program that is controversial to that level, then sensitive questions will be pushed to the academic community, of which ASUP has a stake. 2, we are looking at the future of these students. It is not about having a certificate. Having a certificate that can earn you acceptability. You will agree with me that very many people outside there have some certificate that they cannot even present. Because the program are not duly approved by the regulatory body. Such certificate will be classified as fake result. In fact, MBT Executive Secretary.
You said it is done in collaboration with some colleges of education. The certificate they are going to be given, is it going to be a Federal Polytechnic Ede or Ilori or Alahande College of Education, as you've just said? Is it going to be Federal Polytechnic Ede giving the certificate?
Well, by the current operation, it will be a Federal Polytechnic Ede. We will give you evidence.
Okay.
Because the admission letter issued to a student at Ilaorangon campus, which was not known to the academic board, it was not known to the National Board for Technical Education, revealed that Ede is the one running the program in Ilaorangon College of Education, which we want to believe that the same thing will be extended to Alahande. And on a serious note, that particular program is still surrounded with a lot of controversies. Let me give you an example. At the MBT meeting on the 16th of September, the executive secretary himself did give an example where a man bagged a certificate from one of the polytechnic in the northern state. And the Chinese government is to scrutinize that certificate. Incidentally, the Chinese government raised concern on it that this is not an accredited and approved certificate. So you should get approval before we can ratify it.
Director alleged.
Wait. The man came to MBTE and Dr. Kazari, after listening to him, said, no, there is no way he can give approval to that certificate, that he should go back to the school that anchored or pilot the program so that they give him the evidence of approval issued by MBTE.
But your director has also alleged your union members that some of them were demanding for the payments for the job that they did not do. He said some of them are lectured for 5 hours, for 10 hours, and they want to be paid for 25 hours, like that other people did. Is that also true?
That is not true. Let him give you evidence of any letter written by the union demanding for the payment of such money at any time by ASUP.
Okay, let's now go back to Friday. When the matter was ongoing, it was alleged that your union members went ahead and deflated the tire of the official vehicle of the rector. Who deflated the tire of the official vehicle of the rector?
Please, do you have a proof to that?
Yes, I have a picture that I can show you where the tires have been deflated. I have a picture of the vehicle when the tires have been deflated.
Okay.
So who deflated the official the tires of the official car of the vehicle?
Let's get one thing clear.
Okay.
One of those things that we should get clear, and which I want the pressmen to be their watchword, is that when there are issues like this, you should get your facts. You should make it reliable.
That is why I'm now asking you now.
Accurate and balanced.
From your own point, who deflated the tires of the official vehicle?
Nobody. No claim that an ASUP member did that.
But are you aware that the official car, the tires of the official car were...
I am not even aware. Immediately the rector left. Immediately the rector left SOB. When you read the online report I have on that, there are a lot of controversies on it.
Okay.
The report did mention that the tire was deflated in front of the Senate building. We never had a Senate building in Federal Polytechnic Ede.
Okay.
We never had
But the administrative block, right?
We did not. We have the administrative block, but the vehicle was not even at the administrative block at that time. Immediately the rector left the venue of the academic board meeting. I followed him to the office. He was going in a vehicle. I was trekking. So how do I know what happened and where it happened?
Okay, if I may still ask you, sir, if you look at it from this perspective, it was reported that your union member demanded that the rector leave the office immediately after the suspension.
No.
As the chairman
let's get some.
Is that also true?
Let's get some facts right.
Yeah, that's why I'm not putting it.
One important thing that you have to recognize in this matter is that the rector himself is a member of ASUP. The whole of the academic board is a body.
Okay.
Once they take a decision, it becomes difficult for an individual to single himself or herself out. Once academic board resolve that on this matter we are not going to give you any briefing, it is the responsibility of ASUP to contact the rector. That rector, what actually transpired? And that was why we followed him to his office. Incidentally, when we got to the office, the administrative complex was locked from the main entrance to the last door to the rector's office.
So where was rector then? Were you able to get to his office?
Initially I was unable. Then when I said, why will you lock the main entrance?
Who locked it?
A security came out and said he was the one that locked it on instruction.
Okay, can you tell us who do you think will instruct that man to have locked?
Well, don't let me preempt.
Okay.
I may not know. He said he locked it.
But from your investigation, you have not.
Wait, you can draw inferences.
Okay.
You can draw inference.
Okay.
Because when the main entrance was locked, later opened, I moved in and I discovered that the entrance to the office of the reception to the rector was equally locked. When I said, why are you people locking office? After like 5 to 6 minutes, someone came out to open it and said the door was actually open. Okay. And thereafter, when I gained entry into the rector's office, the door to the rector's office, which is a public office, was locked. So meaning that it is a sequence of
Yes, let's now. I'm still saying, okay. So you, how did the rector leave the school on that day? Some people will have it on record, from the reports that he invited security men because your people, according to that report, were actually demanding that he leaves office by fire by force, and then he couldn't just leave because of his security. So he invited some security men who actually escorted him out of the campus. Is that true?
Escorted him? Well, to the best of my knowledge, when the door to his office was locked and I could not gain access, I told the security, they are alive, that go and meet him, whether it will open for you or not.
So did he I'm saying that he invited external security men on campus.
I may not know who invited them, but
you also saw
there were external security men
on campus. So it was also said that the reason behind all this accusation and the crisis that is moving from one angle to another, from one dimension to the other, is because of the fact that the rector is bent on probing some of you who have collected money, debt fund grant for PhD, and you have not been able to present any certificates, and that is why, according to him, and that is why you are now fighting him on daily basis. Is that also true?
No, that cannot be true. You can judge yourself. We are saying that this program you are running is an illegal program.
But you have lectured them.
Wait. Members of the Polytechnic community were deceived into the program.
Okay.
Until we got clarification from the regulatory body that the program has been approved. To the level that even on the floor of the academic board, they demanded for approval, which was never presented. That is one. You did mention the other time that the academic board approved it. Academic board never approved it. They don't even have the power to approve it. What they did was an action under duress where an executive approval had been granted for commencement of the program, and he now lured the academic board into giving the approval. Mark you, as at the time of that acclaimed approval, all members of the academic board were appointees of the rector. It was until when we have amended Polytechnic Act in 2019 July that things started changing on the floor of
because
the
some other people have been,
because all chief lecturers are meant to be members of the academic board by the Polytechnic Act.
Okay.
The HODs were elected, not by appointment. The deans were elected, not by appointment. Even the deputy rectors were elected by the academic board on nomination of the rector. And the academic board still reserve the right on that. If the rector gives a nomination and the academic board has a serious concern about the nomination, they have the power to reject that nomination.
Mr. Masopa, we have less than 3 minutes to actually wrap up this conversation, and I want us to touch two matters. The number one is that you were alleged to have collected money since year 2013, and you have not been able to provide any results. Can you please briefly explain why that is on ground? And also, we have to find a way forward. What exactly is the union demand for peace to reign on campus?
Say, when he who goes to equity must not only go with a clean hand but without blemish.
Okay.
When there is a wrong accusation on the part of someone, you will not expect that person to give information that may be misconstrued in the public domain.
Okay.
Let the management bring out the file and claim that progress report has not been given to them on that program. We all know the nature of a PhD program in Nigeria. He himself did PhD for years. And PhD is not something, there are a lot of issues that can crop up. As the issues were cropping up, I was updating the concerned unit. So if they claim that, you collected money, you squander it, let them bring out their file. That is very, very important.
Have you been able to present any certificates?
I'm still on the program.
You are still on the program?
I'm still on the program.
Okay.
Then, when you talk about, see, there are some of these things that are not clear to members of the general public.
And that is why we are seeking clarification.
Now, the same person alleging people that they have done this, they have done that, without any, ask him if he has any proof, documentary evidence to any of his claim. If he makes a claim, tell him that, hey, Mr. Rector, can you give us documentary evidence?
Okay.
Our claim on DUA, we can give you documentary evidence
okay,
that shows that they are actually running DUA program in Ilorin. If he makes a claim, tell him to give you documentary evidence. One of the problem he is trying to cover up is that he was alleged of sexual scandal in 1995.
Okay.
And he was, on the basis of that, removed from office as HODs and director. And he was sanctioned. Incidentally, when he became the rector, that particular paper disappeared mysteriously from his file on his assumption of duty as the rector. Yes, it is one thing for women to hear. But one thing is that you keep the record straight.
Okay.
Keep the record straight.
I think those are weighty allegations that you are laying over there. I hope you can have documents to back it up.
We can give you documents.
Okay. I believe you have documents as you have just said.
We can give you
Mr. Masopa, finally, what is the way forward? We cannot continue like this. The public is watching.
Well, the way forward is that if ASUP, academic board, stakeholders within the Polytechnic are raising issues on its administrative style, its conduct, finances, and particularly when it has to do with matters that will affect the future of innocent students. I think it will not be out of place for the concerned agencies of government to look at the two parties, all the parties involved, holistically.
But you have petitions written, to ICPC, to MBTE, and some other places. And it seems that the agencies have not actually worked on them. Are you saying the agency have not worked on them?
One important thing that everybody must recognize is that by Nigeria structure and practice, we do not rating. There are a lot of complexities in Nigeria. So it may happen that even if you are making a very honest, sincere complaint about a particular matter, you are just blowing the whistle for yourself to hear. Only for you to hear. I wouldn't know. Upon all the letters, we never wrote petition. We only wrote letters of complaints to those agencies because we have not been able to resolve it internally. So those letters we wrote was one of those things that called for our invitation on 16th of September. I think if truly the federal government is fighting against corruption, one important thing we must take note of is that if you are making a false allegation against someone, it's a form of corruption. So if the union is making false allegation against him, it's necessary for relevant agencies of government to investigate it. And if the allegations, the levels, the union and other stakeholders, including the academic board, are raising against him, are genuine, then it is the responsibility of the agency of government to decide. Come to think of it, the academic board have resolved that the DUA award program should be placed on suspension, pending the submission.
But the examination was ongoing there.
Very, very good. Let me clarify that. Pending the submission of a report by a committee set up by the academic board. Incidentally, when the rector was reporting to the academic board, he now said he had taken some decisions on behalf of the academic board, that when ASUP withdrew our members, he has recruited part-time lecturers to continue with the teaching, and presently, as they were speaking on that Friday, the students were writing exam.
That is another point you have just raised. So when your members refused to go to class again, the rector went ahead to recruit some people from outside to come up to go and be teaching them. I believe the rector will be able to answer all these questions. That is how far we can go on today's edition. It has been a wonderful session, a really failing one that has, we have some facts, and then we believe the rector will be able to also answer some questions. It has been a session with Mr. Nurudeen Adekunle Masopa, the chairman of Academic Staff Union of Polytechnic, Federal Polytechnic Ede. Join me on the other side.
I'm inspired by what Inside Links Media, what they are doing. They are doing a very, very good job, and I want you to keep listening to them. Thank you.
That was the session with Comrade Nurudeen Adekunle Masopa, the chairman of Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, Federal Polytechnic Ede. He was able to tell us what the side of the union has been. Most especially, he made some very weighty allegations while addressing some matters that are so critical to this crisis. And in the next episode, we'll be speaking with the rector himself, Dr. John Taiwo Adekolawole. Dr. Adekolawole will be telling us his own side of the whole thing. And from there, I'm very sure that we are going to find a lasting solution to the crisis that has continued to affect the lives of thousands of students that are in this Federal Polytechnic. That is how far we can go. Before I sign out today, I want to give a special appreciation to Osun Agency for Community and Social Development, CSDP, for this award and presented to me and the entire crew of Insight Multilinks Media. We really appreciate it, and we are saying that we will continue to give our best. We will continue to ensure that we give our best to entrench the service of this organization, most especially as they are continue to take development to the grassroots. Thank you so much. We so appreciate and pray on behalf of all my crew members, the cameraman, the producer, the editor, the reporters. We say thank you so much. And that is how far we can go today. Some other time when I come your way, I'm Jare Tiamiyu, and so you stay safe. Bye for now.